Kyrgyz death customs, death rituals are closely linked with Kyrgyz nomadic way of life, oral tradition, and music. And singing funeral lamentations is an important ritual that's maintained by elderly women. It's still a living tradition. It's one of the oldest and living genres of Kyrgyz oral tradition. Besides women, Kyrgyz improvising oral poets also played an important role in refining and developing this ritual. Unlike Kyrgyz elderly women, oral poets, they accompany themselves with a musical instrument, qomus. But traditionally, women sing lamentations without any musical instrument. My recent research dealt with Kyrgyz funeral customs and recording of Kyrgyz funeral lamentations. I traveled to different regions of Kyrgyzstan in the last 2 years, recorded over 100 Kyrgyz elderly women, and this ritual is sang only at an actual event when a person dies. It's a bad omen to sing it on an ordinary day. And it's hard to record it, but I was able to explain the importance of recording this ritual before it dies out.
Asmandan kana cemine bir albayta Yardaqtap kana bakkana baldarına Ağlayın kendirim seni söylegen sözün tavalbayta Ay gökölep kana uskana gök kuşka Ay gökten bir kana ceminay ver albayda Ay görkümü kana sonuna tuğanın Ağlayın kendirim Ay senin baskan delen izine tavalbayda
Because in the last years, those elderly women who maintain this tradition, they're dying, and their number is decreasing, and the young generation doesn't have much knowledge about this, our cultural heritage, including oral tradition and funeral lamentation. So it's very important to document this ritual before it is forgotten. I was raised by my grandmother from the age 1 till the age of 7, because my own parents, they had to work, so they gave me temporarily to my grandma, and who raised me in the mountains of Kyrgyzstan in the summertime. They took their livestock with them to the summer pastures, and my grandma had 10 of her own children, and I was the 11th child in the family. And she raised me with so much passion, compassion, and love. And she raised me with, she fed me with fermented horse milk, which is a traditional national drink of the nomadic Kyrgyz. And she died at the age of 80. And before she died, she asked me to sing funeral lamentation at her funeral. And it's important to fulfill the testament of a deceased person. But I wanted her to listen to a song that I composed to her before she died. And I commissioned a text of the song, and I composed a melody for it, and went back to my grandma's house in the village. And while she was in her deathbed, she listened to the song. And she asked me to sing it 2 times. With tears in her eyes, and I have a photo of that scene also. And she was very grateful, and she couldn't speak much, but she was able to hear. And after she passed away, I sat inside the yurt, funeral yurt, where her body was laid behind the curtain, and I sang a traditional Kyrgyz funeral lamentation, which doesn't use any musical instrument. So I used a traditional Kyrgyz melody for funeral lamentation, and I was at the center of attention because my grandmother used to say, "My daughter, you have a strong and powerful voice, and I want you to sing really well when I die at my funeral, so that people tell people what kind of a woman I have been in life, how I raised you in the mountains, so that people remember me." And before she died, she also gave me this silver bracelet of hers to keep her memory alive. So I've been wearing for the last 4 years.